Hi, I'm Rachel and welcome back to my channel. So this is a slightly different vlog to what I normally upload. So last year I had this idea that I would collaborate with Vicky, who is Miss18Dapper. I would choose a few books for her, wrap them up, give her a little bit of a synopsis on the front, few little treats. She would go off and read them and then she would do the same for me. And this was last year and I opened them up, these books, I vlogged it, I vlogged different things throughout the year of me reading them, my thoughts, my feelings. And the first bit of the video was corrupted. I've done little bits of vlogging since then, just to finish some books, one of the books off. And I've come to edit it and it's all corrupted. Some of them have no sound. I have no idea what's happened. I don't know whether it's because I've done an update on my iMac. I don't know. This vlog was just not meant to be. So if you want to see a professional video of how this video should be like, then please go over to Miss18Dapper's channel. I'll link her channel down below, and you can see then what books I bought her and how she got on with those books. So all I'm going to do basically is show you the books Vicky bought me and what I thought, and then yeah, it's not the video I wanted this to be, but technology, you just a pain in the bum, but we'll make do what we've got. So Vicky got me 3 books. One of the books I'd already read myself. Now I am a big reader, so it is quite hard to buy for me because there's a lot of books which I have already read. So one of the books I had read. So the book which I'd already read is this one. This is The Curious Boy in the Night Time. I thoroughly enjoyed this book. I did reread it because, like I said, it's one of my favourites. It's in my top 10 for sure. So this is about a 15-year-old boy called Christopher. Christopher has Asperger's, and Christopher likes routine. He does things in set ways, and one day he wakes up and he finds basically a dog with a fork in his back garden, and he has to know why, who, all these questions go in his head, and he has to find the answer to it. So he goes on a mission to solve this murder, and basically he finds out a lot more than just who does this to the dog. He finds out about family, he finds out his own independence, and he's braver than he expects of himself. And yeah, so this book is set out completely different than a normal novel. So you get very much an insight of how an Asperger's mind works. So there's mathematical equations in here. There's the way he sees a timetable. It's really inquisitive to find out how the mind works and how wonderful the mind works and how other people see things completely differently. Christopher is such a well-written character in this book, and the author has done an amazing job with this character. I'm not surprised it's won so many awards. It is also a play now. It's just a really thoughtful book, and the authors took his time to write this character. Really just incredible. And yeah, I had another great time with this book for sure. So the next book I opened was this, by Katie Nunn, I can't pronounce it, The Botanist's Daughter. Basically someone who studies plants. I can't say it and I'm not going to embarrass myself. So this book was quite interesting, and it wasn't the book for me, but I like the premise of it. The writing style wasn't for me. So you have Anna, who loves plants. She's got her own gardening business, and she happens to be clearing out her grandmother's house, where she comes across a metal box which has jewellery, there's illustrations, watercolours, and a packet of seeds. And then you move back into the 1880s, where you meet the young Elizabeth. Young Elizabeth is being asked by her dying father to go on a quest. He is a very well-known adventurer, and he's into plants, and he wants her to go and find the rarest of the rarest plants. So you're working between these two timelines. I'm not going to tell you any more about that like I did it in the previous book, but that's the premise of the book. The one thing which let it down is I don't think the characters are well established enough. I was left wanting to know more about the characters. The writing style is very descriptive, and I'm not the biggest fan of plants or gardening, so I wasn't invested in that side of when it came with the description of things. I was skim reading it. I gave it a 2-star. Now when I give a book a 2-star, it doesn't mean that's the worst book ever. It just means I appreciate it for what it is, but it didn't offer me, it was just a nice story, but there was more what could be done with this book for me. I think you have to go into this liking a bit of historian fiction. I like a dual timeline. I don't think this one necessarily worked correctly. There was a lot right about it, but for me there was a lot more wrong with this book. It's not a book which I would recommend to everyone. You'd have to really be into historical fiction and like plants and gardens and stuff like that, and the writing style. Yeah, the writing style for me, I needed a bit more for it. But overall, a good story. I liked how it ended. You can really see, you just know what's going to happen kind of thing. But yeah, 2 stars. Recommend if you like historian fiction and if you like plants. This would be the book. And I can understand why it's won a few awards, because the writing is very descriptive, but I found it quite boring. So finally, the book which I thoroughly enjoyed, and it's a book which really brought me out of the comfort zone. Just by looking at the cover, it's not a book I would have, and even the synopsis I wouldn't have chosen, and that is The Binding by Bridget Collins. This is amazing. If you're a fan of like Philip Pullman or Sarah Waters, that like dark descriptive writing, then this is the book for you. So this book is basically about books and memories, and if you're a fan, and if you know me, you know how much memories and moments mean to me. This book is about Emmett, who is a young apprentice of a binder, and his job is to handcraft absolutely stunning books and capture memories within those pages. So basically, if you have any memories you want to save, he would then bind them into a book, so you would either have them forever, or if you want to put something in a book where you want to forget it, then he is the person for you. So obviously Emmett is an apprentice, so the owner has in his vault rows upon rows upon rows of books filled with memories, and basically Emmett finds something of a discovery which takes him on his own journey. This is a very gothic novel, very dark, mysterious. I enjoyed it more because I am not a fan of this kind of genre of book. It's not a book which I would have necessarily picked up by the cover or by the kind of synopsis on the back. It was jam-packed, this book. It took me ages to read this book. This is the book I started with, and throughout this book I was rereading this just to like break it up a bit, because it is an intense book. This is a perfect like kind of summer book, a summer read to take away with you, because you just need time to relax and really involve with it. Like I said, it's not something I would necessarily be drawn to, but I think it's because it's about books and about memories that it was just it was just spellbinding, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I would highly recommend this to lots of different people. 5 stars. I was very, like I said, I was very surprised that I physically enjoyed it. Yeah, it was just an overall surprising book, and I think because of that I enjoyed it more. It's a book I will never forget, that is for sure, and the writing style of this was just perfect. Bridget Collins knows how to write a book for sure, that is, and I want to see if she's wrote any more books. This is like over, is it 400 pages? I'm sure it is. Yeah, 400 and something pages. Yeah, and like it says, pure magic, utterly brilliant, truly spellbinding. Yes, yes, yes. I loved it. Absolutely, thoroughly enjoyed it. So overall, I had an amazing time reading these books, and I'm so glad that I had got chosen these books, because two of the books I would never have picked up. That one, obviously, I've read it myself, and it was just nice to be able to go out of my comfort area with books. And yeah, it's just been a really nice experience. To know that I've come out of my comfort area. What some of the books were like this one in particular wasn't my favourite. I enjoyed it for what it was, and it's not something I'd want to reread, or a book which will just be a book where I go, oh yeah, I've read that, and I'd forget about the synopsis of it until I read the back, kind of thing. Whereas this one will stay with me for a long time. I really, really enjoyed this book, and that book is one of my firm favourites. So overall, I thoroughly enjoyed this. I wish I had the footage of me, like the raw footage of me reading, and halfway through some of these where you can see like the pure raw emotion of me reading these, and when I opened them, and my first reaction of me opening these books. Because I'll be honest, when I opened these two, I was like, okay, not something I would necessarily pick up, and I went into it thinking, oh, really, I'm not going to enjoy this. This is going to be a lot harder, because I'm really picky with books. But one of them was a 5-star, and one of them was a book where I enjoyed it. It wasn't for me, and like I said, it was reread. So yeah, I am gutted. I don't know what's happened, but there goes. So if you want to see how Vicky got on with the books I chose for her, then please head over to her channel and see if she enjoyed them. I think picking books for other people can be quite hard, because you might just stick into your lane, and it might be like the books I've chose for her were like completely not her genre at all, and that's absolutely fine. But I'm really interested to see how she got on. Hopefully her vlog is how I imagined my vlog to be. It's just I had some technical issues. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I know it's something different for my channel, but if you are a big reader, then I do recommend getting with your friends and going to local charity shops, picking 3 books for your friends, covering them up, and then just putting like synopsis points on them, and having a little challenge with your friends, because you never know, you might find your next 5-star read. So I hope you've enjoyed this. As always, sending huge positive thought. See you soon. Bye.